This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. So Raw on the 4th of February, it's from Vegas, and we would see Hunter getting his win back over Booker T in 2 minutes because, well, you know. And it's announced that Hunter versus Angle is going to be at No Way Out, and it's going to be for Hunter's #1 contendership. Now, we also see Vince and Flair in the ring again together discussing what happened on SmackDown. And of course, Nash, Hall, and Hogan are going to appear on the screen to a less than thunderous reaction. Are you concerned that their appearance may not be as big of a thing as everyone was hoping for? I mean, when they show them on the screen, I would assume the crowd's going to go bananas, but that doesn't feel like the case here.
Because they weren't there.
Right.
Because they weren't there in front of them. No. It's always going to be less than, unless you're out in front of that audience getting that live feel.
So now we're going to see Stephanie and Hunter talk about renewing their wedding vows on February 11th. Stephanie wanted to renew them in Vegas because that's where they got married. And
Little Whitechapel.
What a wonderful occasion it was. Did you drug your wife to get married as well against her will, just like they did?
The night of, or anyway.
So she's basically ordering him to do it. He's saying no again. He starts yelling at her. She starts crying. And then she said she's pregnant. There's a big pause. He hugs her and celebrate, but the fans don't. They're booing this badly. Fans are chanting that she's not pregnant and the baby's not his. All this sort of stuff. What'd you think of this? Is this a little too soap opera, or is this good shit, pal?
It's good shit. It's what we do with soap opera.
I just feel like the pregnancy angles, as a rule of thumb, man, they're just not for me.
Okay.
So Jazz wins the WWF Women's title from Trish with an STF as a finish here. Man, was Jazz ahead of her time or what?
Jazz was incredible talent, man. Incredible talent, incredible person. She was a pretty cool gal. Still is, I'm sure. Well, I mean, she was. Now she's I haven't seen her in a while, but I'm big fans of Jazz and Rodney Mack too, her husband. They're just really good people.
SmackDown is taped in LA. It's notable for a couple reasons. They show a taped interview with Triple H and Stephanie, and the doctor informs them that she's 8 weeks along. Angle comes out with a baby carriage and says Stephanie's going to make a great mom, but Triple H would be a lousy father because he's closer to an ape. And then he pulls a stuffed ape he called Game Jr. out of the baby carriage. Of course, Triple H comes out and attacks him. This sounds silly when you read it back, but buddy, Kurt Angle was so great at this comedy shit, was he not?
Absolute natural when you think back and, I go back to the first time that Kurt Angle was in a camp with Dory Funk Jr. and Dory Funk was, was my childhood hero. And Dory saw Kurt Angle like, oh my God, the opportunity to have an Olympic gold medalist. This is the ultimate giant baby face of the territory that you build everything around. And he could go to other companies, and by God, if anyone tried to shoot on him, Kurt could defend himself and turn it around type thing. And for Kurt to be this incredibly entertaining heel and still be one of the baddest humans walking the face of God's green earth at the time. Man, Kurt was just the best at what he did when he applied himself to it, man. Absolutely incredible.
We see Linda call up Hunter and ask him to watch the videotape she sent him. And it's a video exposing that Stephanie was not being pregnant. And from there, well, there's this. Vince, who rolled his eyes earlier at the suggestion that he'd walk Stephanie down the aisle, shows up to reconcile. And this got really creepy as Stephanie was wearing the sluttiest wedding dress I've ever seen. Finkel tried to warn Stephanie that a problem was going to ensue, but Vince yelled at him. It got really creepy as Vince was looking down his daughter's top. Anyway, now it's time for a wedding. Triple H came out to his entrance music. Well, so did Test. So we have a precedent, but he smiled in that sly face manner. At least he didn't spill water. Stephanie and Vince came out. Fans were chanting "what" at the preacher. And while that's usually annoying, this thing was so ungodly bad that it was at least making it humorous. To make a long story short, this went 15 minutes and seemed like 2 hours. They even sang a wedding song. Stephanie went on forever with her vows. Triple H then got on the mic and actually had a pretty well-written speech. called her a no good lying bitch, said they were through, and gave Vince a pedigree and pie-faced Stephanie, and then he destroyed the wedding set. It's got to be one of the more memorable weddings. You know, I didn't hate this nearly as bad as Meltzer did. I remember watching this, and it got a reaction from my house. What'd you think?
That was tremendous. Reminded me of, beautiful, beautiful wedding time. See, you just don't get out to enough, good weddings. See this kind of stuff. This kind of shit that happens all the time.
I'll tag along with Michael Hayes next time Stephanie and Hunter renew their vows.
Actually, see and my wife thought I was crazy. I don't think we were married at the time. But I actually went to a friend's wedding. I was a groomsman, but I actually offered to take him away before he made the biggest mistake of his life, which was one of the biggest mistakes of his life, turned out. But if he had only listened to me, I definitely would have thrown him in my car and just had my wife, then girlfriend at the time, drive him away while I went in and handled everything in the church.
Okay.
Dude, I was a hated motherfucker. And we didn't even do it. I was hated because it got out that I wanted to do it. So, I mean, shit happens. I mean, that's real life. That is real life.
Okay. I believe you. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.